आएगा। Yes, sir. So I assume that we got late in the previous session, and we'll have to wait for some time. And please inform others, those you know, that now session is available. And at one time of time, we can only have one Zoom. So that is the thing. So let us wait for some times. And if there is anyone from MTech CSE, please inform those guys that now session is available. If somebody knows MTech CSE students, they have also, if I say, registered for this. Maybe today I have approved several requests. Sujit, you want to say anything? Sujit.
No, sir.
Oh, your hand.
I think.
Okay. Okay. कोई है MTech CSE का? Is there anyone from MTech CSE? MTech CSE में सृजन किसी का नंबर do we have? So Utkarsh, you have not done the course of CDP, right? Kaushik. हाँ, आपको सुनाई दे रहा है? उत्कर्ष कौशिक. Gitanjali, can you listen?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, okay. Utkarsh, can you listen? No. आपका माइक नहीं चल रहा होगा. So do we have anyone from MTech CSE? मेरे पास भी नहीं है. Okay, so I've mailed them. And okay, so let us start. Whatever. Can we start? Please raise your hand if we can start. Vishesh Soni. Vishesh Soni, you are from which department?
Bioengineering second year.
Bioengineering second year. Okay. Creditors, all most of the creditors are there. Can you mail them that now join now? Creditors, you have that mail, right? We are starting. Please join now. And in between, if you know anyone who is registered, interested, please let him know that we are starting. Actually, we have to start at 3, but my previous class actually got spill over and I somehow need to manage it. So we actually got late. Yes, Deepali, 2 times Deepali, that is the same one. Okay. Sujit, Komal, Chinmay, Swapnil. Yeah, so let us start. And if anyone want to say anything about the course, anything in which he is having any issue or doubt, then you can ask. Okay, good thing is, let me say, it's a good thing or bad, I don't know. But the point from my side is that Monday, yes, Monday from 3 to 4:30. This is our first slot. and for Tuesday also same. This is the information that I got from Daksh, that our students are even okay with Tuesday 3 to 4:30. No.
Sir, it was
No,
on
sir.
Tuesday.
Wrong.
Tuesday isn't available.
Oh, sorry, 12 to 1. Oh, sorry. Not this. He is saying that is 12 to 1:30. When? Wet Monday? How he can have a lab during this time? तो वो drop कर दे. I cannot do that much, huh? Then probably he has to think about Monday 3 to 4:30. How he got to know this Monday 3 to 4:30? Okay. He is a creditor or a auditor? Creditor, तो मैं उसको drop करना होगा. Anyways, it's a slot. Now everyone can understand दीपाती या दीप्ति या दीपाली किसने मेरे से slot change करवाया. मैंने बोला था I can't change, I cannot change the slot. अभी ये सब पंगे होते रहेंगे. And Tuesday 12 to 1:30.
Sir, I actually have a class on Tuesday at that time. I think Thursday 2 to 5 slot. I think I don't know if Deepti talked, but it was
There are other
good.
guys who are having Thursday. Students are having something else.
सर थर्सडे को एक्चुअली सिर्फ मेरी फिजिक्स प्रैक्टिकम की लैब थी, तो वो मैंने सुमन सर को मेल किया था कल टू शिफ्ट इट टू L3 वेडनेसडे. तो अभी उसका रिप्लाई नहीं आया है, बट मोस्ट प्रोबेबली हो जाना चाहिए.
ओके, ये कब की बात है? मतलब कौन सी वक्त की? थर्सडे?
यस सर.
ओके, देन मे बी थर्सडे 3 to 4:30 is okay. Okay.
Yes sir.
ठीक है. So what we are going to do is that to the creditors, Daksh is going to share something on that. Probably we can say, but till now Monday 3 to 4:30 is something. And even if it is not 3 to 4:30, I mean, I need to see. I am assuming that because this is in fact my lab. This is my lab time, because my lab is it's a L1 session, and we will manipulate it in such a way so that I can take this class. And if you are doing my course and have this time slot, we will somehow manage it in such a way so that your evaluation happens in maybe from 2 to 3. So 2 to 3 you can have your evaluation if you are doing my course of system practicum. This is my time slot of my lab. Yeah, so this is one thing. Okay. इसको क्यों मिटा रहे हो? Okay. Wait. Yeah. So what today we are going to start is reinforcement learning. In fact, we have started about this. So let us understand how we can think about this new paradigm. Yes. So suppose that you are an agent. You are an agent. You are an AI agent. What is an AI agent? AI agent itself is a program. You are planning to make smart a normal simple program, and this is an agent which we need to train in such a way so that it started to work some specific things for you. So what that specific thing is, that there is an environment. So there is an environment, and we try, or we want this guy to be trained in such a way so that it can interact with this environment optimally. So you can think this guy as yourself, and this is a whole world. Your parents try to train you in such a way so that you started to behave in certain ways, and this optimally is, again under double quotes, because optimally will actually be coming from the fact that what is optimal. Some persons may say that no, I want a money making machine. I want my son to be trained in such a way so that he can extract most out of this environment. But what is that most money? So optimality may be dependent on the objective. What's your objective? But others guy, maybe some other parents may be saying that, hey, you go and read and learn things from wherever you want, interact well with the environment, and be a very good human being who may not be able to get most of the money, but is a kind-hearted person, learned person, knows how to learn new things, how to deliver let others understand new things, make persons happy, and so on. So it completely depends. So this optimally means that you want to optimize something, and that optimizing is something is actually some loss. So there are so many different types of laws that we have learned here. What is the loss? So before that, I'll come on to that, because your question may be, sir, there is no supervision. We are not having a supervised framework in which we know when to give a toffee, when to give a chocolate, and when to punish. Because in the case of supervision, you know when to give a toffee, when to give a chocolate, when to punish. So I'll come back to that. So don't worry about that, because you have to make your mind as open as possible when we are going to talk about reinforcement learning, because our thinking got very deep in supervised and unsupervised learning. Those who knows about it, we are very deep into this business of supervision and unsupervision. Now, when I wanted to train this agent to behave optimally, so there must be certain actions maybe say A1, A2 and A3, assuming that there are right now 3 actions. Now these actions are going to be dependent upon whom? Who can tell? Deepti Singh, you have raised your hand. No, you have down it. Okay. Okay, so coming back to even Deepti Singh again. Deepti Singh,
Yes, sir.
these actions, they may be coming from where? They can be random actions, they can be dependent upon certain things. Can you tell?
Sir, actually, I'm not quite understanding what you mean by actions.
Don't worry, na. So I know if you understand, then why you are in the class? You know everything. So I know that you don't understand. So the point is that this is an environment. What type of environment it is? Suppose that you wanted to make an agent which can interact well with this environment, and this environment is chess. Dipti, आ रहा है
Yes.
समझ में?
Yes, sir.
If this is chess, I am Raja. Raja नहीं, क्या कहते हैं उसको? King. King can move. Do you know how to play chess?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then tell me, if I'm king, what are my actions?
Sir, one step in any
One
direction.
forward, maybe one backward,
Yes, sir.
maybe one cross. Basically, all possible 9 neighborhood. Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if that is the case, suppose that your environment is chess, and right now you are letting your agent to understand the moves. What this agent can do? All those 9 things. Your action number 1 is go in this. Action number 2 is this. Maybe action number 2 is this. This is A1, this is A2, this is A3. Maybe this is A4, A5, A6, A7, A8. Dipti, understood?
Yes, sir.
So that is, these actions are actually coming from the environment, because you need to understand that how to behave, how to take an action. What are the actions which are possible under certain environment? If it's a chess, these are the things. If it is ये कट्टम जीरो, इसको क्या कहते हैं? टिक टैक toe. If it's tic tac toe, environment got changed. If your environment got changed, your actions are also going to be changed. What action that you can take? Now, who is going to tell that what is going to be the actions if my environment is tic tac toe?
Sir, cross and zero.
Cross and zero, but that is the action. That's the only action.
And position.
And the position, true. So what is the position and whether you wanted to, so it is going to be on this 2D grid. So let me phrase it in this way. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now Utkarsh is going to say that 5, x. This is one action. How many such actions are there? Let me ask someone. Chinmay Patil. How many such actions are there?
Sir, 3.
3. Chinmay Patil ने से कहा 3. Komal Kumar, you tell.
Yes, sir. Sir, 9 position, then 9 comma x is one. I mean 9 possible action and 0 comma.
So basically 9 actions, right?
18.
18, correct. ठीक. किसी को पूछना है why 18? Raise your hand. समझ गए होंगे लोग. Okay. Now let us go to the next slide again. So let us take maybe Chinmay Patil. Chinmay Patil, can you listen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so Chinmay, my point is that if I show you board like this, my x is here, and this is say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is my x. Chinmay, where you want to place your O?
Sir, do I have to choose or I can play it in any 8?
अरे भाई हम दोनों
Possible.
खेल रहे हैं. You can place
अच्छा.
anywhere.
Sir, 3.
3. Okay. Now, where you want to place your O?
6.
How you have got this location?
Sir, आपका क्रॉस कंप्लीट हो जाता एक लाइन पूरी.
What you have seen is the state of an environment. What is the state of an environment? A state of an environment need to be known so as to plan your action. Yes, Chinmay?
Yes, sir.
And the reason is that you need to do optimally things. It's not at random. There's nothing random happening. You say, sir, oh, over here, then you place over here, I will do this and I'm the winner. So then your play will not be optimal. So when you say that I have to choose an optimal action, out of how many actions are there? Balkar just have joined. Balkar, can you listen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, हाँ थोड़ी देर में समझ जाओगे. Don't worry. Chinmay, the point is that if my environment is chess, sorry, I'm not going to use this. I need to use chess. Not chess. क्या था ये? Tic tac था. So this tic tac, how many possible actions? 18. How I am going to write location cross x/O? These are 18 things with us. Out of that, you need to choose whichever is the best one.
Sir, can we add the other parameter, like if the step is valid or not? Because sir, every time 18 is not possible. Just want to.
That is good. Dharma Teja. Dharma Teja. Dharma Teja. बहुत बढ़िया. हाँ. This is called as the आगे का क्वेश्चन है ना, हम लोग इस पे आएंगे. Dharma Teja, your point is true, and I'll come back to that. That somebody need to really understand how to play the things. I mean, correctly play the things, valid and so on. And that's again an important thing that you need to understand, that we are only trying our agent to understand how to play optimally. All the logic which is there need to be understood to play the game well within the rules is known. We are not learning and maybe encoded in some logic. Dharma Teja, is that, if I say okay for you? I mean, this is fine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just want to say it.
Good. But
Yes.
Dharma Teja, your point is very valid, and the reason is that, you know, several times when I started RL, everyone started to understand that we are learning the how to play valid moves. that is not true. We need to learn the strategy. Agent is going to learn the strategy, how to win, how to get more and more points, and so on. You need not to learn the rules of the game, because the rules of the game are well understood, being placed, saved. Maybe there is a logic. This is some logic unit. This is a logic unit, and this logic unit will take something and will give you, the next state. So it will take an state and give you the next state. What is a state, by the way? A state is particular instance of an environment at time t. St is the state. So right now, if I just say ये बिगाड़ दिया और ये धर्म तेजा ने नहीं चला था, धर्म तेजा ने नहीं, I was playing with someone, चिन्मय ने चला था, चिन्मय wanted to play something over here, ठीक है, want to play something over here, but what he have seen a state. What is that state? That state is 1 blank, 2 blank, 3 O, and so on. Chinmay, that is the state for you. Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And you have to see this state.
Yes.
And depending upon this state, you utilize some of your high level knowledge. And then you have said that your next move is 3, O. We need to learn that logic. Understood? Chinmay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Dharm Teja, is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 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 Yeah.
Sir,
Address,
can I
पूछिए.
ask it out?
हाँ, पूछिए.
Sir, so in this, you said that reinforcement learning don't have supervision. Like it has supervision, but it's not supervised learning. Like we don't have like this is right, this is wrong. So like when you were like playing, for example, with Chinmay, and he plays like a move, and you get a cross, like you get a line. So that is the supervision, right? That program then learns that I made a move, and it led to like me losing. So this was a wrong move. So like I'm trying to understand if it's like not supervised, how it is learning, like what's the supervision doing, and like who is the supervision, like a supercomputer who knows which move is correct and which is wrong, and I don't know.
अच्छा, तो supervised learning का मतलब पहले समझ लो. I think that supervised learning is not, clear. So when I say supervised learning, I'm having the data and I'm having its label. Deepali.
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Hmm.
This is true.
Yes, yeah.
Now here, if I have a move, whether it is good or bad, I don't know. That is why it is unsupervised.
Yes, so sir, reward is given.
Reward aayega, don't worry. I know you are not able to figure out and come out of that zone of supervised and unsupervised. I'll come back, don't worry. I understand you are thinking how this guy is going to give the reward when he don't know what is good, what is bad. Yes, Deepali?
Yes, yes, sir.
अच्छा, मैं तुम्हें टॉप लेवल एग्जांपल देता हूँ. दीपाली, आप कहाँ, do you all of you understand Hindi? If there is
Yes.
someone who don't understand Hindi, then you please raise your hand. अगर आप हिंदी नहीं समझते हैं, एग्जांपल मैं हिंदी में ज्यादा अच्छी तरह से देता हूँ. दीपाली, आप हिंदी समझती हैं, इसका मतलब है, ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
तो ऐसा है कि दीपाली ही एक एजेंट है, वो सीख रही है, और वो क्या किया उसने कि उसकी एक सहेली है, उसका नाम है, पता नहीं कौन है, दीप्ति उसकी सहेली है, ठीक है। तो दीप्ति के साथ तो आप रही 6 महीना, फिर आपने देखा कि यार मेरे पहले 75% नंबर आते थे दीप्ति के साथ रहते हुए, इसकी बातें मानते हुए, समथिंग 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 समथिंग, पता चला कि आपके परसेंटेज 75 से 78 हो गए। फिर आपको लगा यार अच्छा जंप था कि नहीं जंप था, आई डोंट नो। तो फिर आप उसके बाद रहने लगे एक दूसरी अपनी सहेली के साथ, अनीता के साथ। फिर आप 6 महीना रही, और उसके बाद आपने देखा कि अच्छा अनीता के साथ रहने पे मेरा परसेंटेज जो है वो 3% डाउन हो गया, दीप्ति के साथ रहने पे 3% अप हो गया। लेट मी टेल यू दैट दीज आर द एग्रीगेटेड वैल्यूज दैट यू हैव गॉट के आफ्टर 6 मंथ। इनफैक्ट आपको 1 साल के बाद पता चला कि यार दीप्ति के साथ रहने में ज्यादा फायदा था। अच्छा, इंडिविजुअली आप हर दिन दीप्ति से कुछ पूछती थी, दीप्ति आपको कुछ ना कुछ बताती थी, आपको पता नहीं होता था कि ये अच्छा है कि खराब है। समझ रहे हैं आप बात? आपको पता नहीं होता था, आप उसके बताए रास्ते पे चलती रहती थी। एक एजेंट है, उसने कहा ये स्ट्रेटजी फॉलो करते हैं, फॉलो करिए, चलता गया चलता गया चलता गया, फेल हो गया। नेक्स्ट टाइम फिर चलता गया पास हो गया, नेक्स्ट टाइम फिर चलता गया फेल हो गया। वो क्या करेगा, एग्रीगेटेड वे में बहुत समय के बाद ये जान पाएगा कि इस स्ट्रेटजी से कितना फायदा था या नुकसान था। बिकॉज यू आर ओनली गोइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड वेदर यू आर गोइंग टू विन और लूज। आप समझ रही हैं, इससे रिवॉर्ड बनाएंगे। तो डोंट वरी, आई विल कम बैक टू इट, बट दिस इज अ वेरी टॉप लेवल थिंग कि हम एग्रीगेटेड लेवल पे बात करेंगे, न कि इंडिविजुअल मूव्स के बारे में कह देंगे कि ये बेस्ट है, क्योंकि सुपरविजन नहीं है।
But sir, end में there is a winning and losing, right? In that way.
Yes, एंड में there is some winning and losing, yes.
Okay.
And we have to plan, we have to design, sorry, we have to formulate our problem suitably into a game framework, and that is RL for you. जैसे जब सुपरवाइज लर्निंग करते हैं, हर प्रॉब्लम सुपरवाइज नहीं होती है, लेकिन व्हाट यू डू, you think about certain mechanism by which you convert that problem into some optimization framework जिसमें कि वो सुपरवाइज की तरह से दिखे, और फिर आप न्यूरल नेटवर्क लगा देती हैं उस पर। जब आपको आरएल की तरह से प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करना है, यू वांट टू यूटिलाइज द आरएल पैराडाइम, तो आपको अपनी प्रॉब्लम को गेम फ्रेमवर्क में लाना पड़ेगा, इन्वायरमेंट बताना पड़ेगा, एक्शंस बताने पड़ेंगे, रिवॉर्ड बताना पड़ेगा। समझी बात?
Yes, sir.
तो अभी बताएंगे, डोंट वरी। ओके, सो बीइंग एन एजेंट, this is an environment. Agent will go to this environment. So agent is, first of all, this is one. Environment is giving some state to this agent that, hey, this is your state. Depending upon the state, agent will take an action. In that state, if you take an action, what will happen? Your environment will tell you what is your next state. And और क्या बताएगा?
Reward.
And the reward. And then maybe yes, and then you have got, so this is say S1, say S0, and then this will be your S1, and here you have taken A1. So S0 state, that's your initial state. You have taken an action, you have got a state. How you have got a correct state? There is a logic inside this, and logic inside this environment, and this environment is actually telling you what's your next state. That is the logic. Now Dharma Teja can understand this logic is incorporated inside my environment. I need not to learn. If I give you a state, if I give you an action, it will just tell you that what's the next state. So you have got a next state S1 and a reward R1. And then at S1, it will take A2. And then it will tell you that, okay, now this is S2 and your reward is R2, and keep on moving in this loop. What is happening inside this? What is happening inside is, so there is something you wanted to know about this environment, how this is doing. It is taking an state and an action and going to give you another state. So this will actually be defined as a MDP. This is called as Markov decision problem. So Markov decision problem is something. So we will define this whole framework in which there is an agent. This agent is at a particular state. At this state, it's going to take an action. If you take this action, you are going to get into another state and you are going to get a reward. If all these things fine, works well, then you will be saying that, okay, now you have got a new state and keep on moving into this. Then can you tell me that everyone understood? Please raise your hand. You all understand this. We will see this in more detail. But do you really understand that there is something which is called as Markov decision process? We will define it, but that guy is responsible how to play the game. Then what you are learning? Learn क्या कर रहे हो? Do you understand the question?
Sir, how to get the maximum points we are learning?
That is the objective, right? Get the maximum points and so on. But for that, what you are learning?
Which state to input?
Which state? Dharma Teja, फिर से.
Which state to input to the environment, depending
Okay, so
upon
which
the
state. Okay, so so what you have said, let me. Yes, essentially I've said well. I mean, that is that agent need to take an action. Yes, that's true. ये लर्न कर रहे हो? किसी को कुछ ऐड करना है? Anyone want to add anything?
Sir, what type of actions get you the most reward?
Most relevant action, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
This is called as the optimal action. चलो.
Sir,
किसी को
I
और
have a
कुछ ऐड
question.
करना? Yes.
सर सपोज करो हमने 100 से ज्यादा लोगों को चेस खिलाया और 100 के वो सारे लोग ही हार गए, देन हम अपना रेनफोर्समेंट लर्निंग लगा रहे हैं, तो सर मे बी सम चांस होंगे कि वो जीत जाए हमारा मॉडल, तो मतलब आई मीन किसी के साथ खेले रेंडमली तो जीतने के चांस, क्योंकि वो लर्न कर चुका है कि इससे मतलब इस तरीके से हारते हैं, तो ऑप्टिमल एक्शन ये भी हो सकता है कि क्या एक्शन नहीं लेना.
हाँ, ट्रू. तो क्या एक्शन नहीं लेकर 1 माइनस जो होता है ना, दैट इज द ऑप्टिमल एक्शन. जैसे एग्जांपल के तौर पे A1, A2, A3 में से ये एक्शन लिया जाए, या फिर दूसरी बात है कि ये एक्शन ना लिया जाए. Both of them are equivalent while learning.
Yes, got it, sir.
लेकिन और भी कुछ बात है जो आपको बोलनी होगी. मतलब हम लोग देखें, आई एम टीचिंग इट इन वेरी डिफरेंट वे. दोज हु हैव डन दिस कोर्स में से, आई मीन I have all these things prepared well in my lecture notes and so on. I'll come back to that, but first I wanted to let you understand what we wanted to learn. So one thing that you all understood, that we need to learn a logic which is going to be incorporated or embedded inside this agent so that it can take the best possible action. Okay. So if that is a function, suppose that, because see, when you are learning, you can learn certain functions. So there is a function f. You wanted to learn that. And that is going to give you the action. What is going to be the input? It is going to be the input to such a function. And by the way, it is going to be parameterized over theta. And these are the set of parameters your neural network is going to learn. But the point is, what is the input for such a function?
So state of the environment.
This environment, what's the state of the environment? And depending upon that state, your agent is going to take the best possible action. Is that okay? Anyone want to add anything else?
Sir, will previous state to be needed over here?
Previous
Previous
state
state.
भी हो सकती है यहाँ. अच्छा, आपका कहना है कि it may be,
I mean, like it can compare in between and just form something if our action is suitable or not.
okay, st minus k plus 1 and so on up to st, all of them can be potential inputs. ठीक है ना? y at t, you only require k things back. That's a hyperparameter. Anyone wanted to add anything more?
Sir, action of the opposition,
Sorry.
like a state of the world, that is, I think, same. That is action taken by the opposition.
Action taken by the opposition. So you want to say that, so Sujit, you want to say that you do not require that many things.
No, it will require, but
Okay, sorry, you are saying that 80 minus 1.
Yeah.
So it is that state, comma, action taken by the taken at some previous time step. So let me write it in a better way. And I request you to please utilize, today I am not going to be that much mathematically showing the things. I'm just giving you the intuition, but next time please keep on carrying your pen and pencil and so on. Yeah, so as Sujit is saying, it is that st, comma, a t minus 1 function theta, and somebody has said that all the previous things, or maybe certain previous things, first of all, let us say that do we all agree to this, or somebody wanted to add? Gehan, Nikhil, anyone wanted to add anything or any question?
Sir, why are we also considering the previous action?
Okay, why you are considering the previous action. Now suppose that you are moving in this direction. You are at this state. At this state, when you are going to take something, which direction you wanted to go, is it going to be any way having any dependence upon your previous action? Komal, as who was saying? So,
Yes, sir. Momentum.
sorry, जो क्वेश्चन पूछा था मैं मिस कर गया.
Sir Dipali.
Deepali, बोलिए. Is it going to be having any dependence on the previous or your last action?
Yes, sir.
इसलिए. लेकिन ये
Sir,
गलत भी है.
But yes, sir. But what if it's like a action which leads to a bad reward? So like.
Yeah, so that is, I didn't have said that give it, it is just depending on that. Inversely or what do you say?
Yeah.
It's proportional to that. So it's not, positive or negative. It's just dependent. Yes, no.
Yes, sir.
हाँ, और बोलो.
Yes, sir. जैसे if we are going to market and we don't know where is the market, so someone is saying then go in this direction. So we can, and consecutive many people said this thing. So we are having some momentum so that we can go in. I mean, more fastly in that direction. So previous action will required.
अच्छा, आपका कहना है required. Okay.
Sir, but अगर previous action है, तो won't that be like थोड़ा embedded in the state of the environment itself? Like कि speed उसका भी कैसा है या फिर something like that.
तो आपका कहना, all of you are supporting that कि 80-1 कुछ dependent होगा, ऐसा है ना?
नहीं सर, अगर मतलब वो environment में पहले से embedded है तो फिर वो ST में पहले से embedded है ना?
अच्छा, ये कौन बोला?
सर
प्रियांशु. अच्छा, तुमने पिछला किया है, ठीक है, कोई नहीं. ओके. अच्छा, पहली बात तो, अच्छा किसी को और कुछ नहीं कहना तो लेट मी कम बैक कि ऑल ऑफ यू आर thinking in correct direction, and that is the point I request you to please think whenever we discuss, because the point is that upcoming things are going to be very, very challenging and too much amount of things, complicated things are going to be there. Priyanshu actually knows that कि हाँ ऐसा बहुत कुछ है. पहली बात ये कि मार्कोवियन प्रॉपर्टी क्या है? Markovian property ये है, and understand, Markovian property says that if you are at a state ST, it is self-sufficient in its own. इसको हिस्ट्री नहीं चाहिए, ये हिस्ट्री खुद अपने अंदर रखता है अगर जरूरत है तो. And Markovian property says that what to do next is being solely dependent upon this state. Pehla point. So that is why when we plan, so what you are saying is not incorrect, but we are going to design system using Markov decision process. In this, such processes are assuming that state is having all required information. Yes, Utkarsh. Pucho.
What do you mean by history in this case?
In the
For
case,
each state?
History is ST-1, ST-2, ST-3, and so on.
Means it's a straight line. Means we cannot jump to any state. We have to go through a.
नहीं ऐसा नहीं है, फिर मिस हो गया. S. Go to my tic-tac example. Tic-tac-toe. Tic-tac-toe में any SI is actually some location, comma X or O. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now S1 may be 5, X. S2 may be 6, O. S3 may be kuch. So for S3, this is the history. ठीक है?
Yes.
वो S1 S2 S3 नंबरिंग हमने की है, but they, because they are happening in a sequence, but ultimately your actions are jumping from one to other to third to fourth. That will happen. S1 S2 S3 तो we have numbered it because things are happening in a sequential way. समझ गए? तुम्हारा क्वेश्चन सही बता दिया मैंने.
Okay, sir.
Sir.
हाँ पूछो.
Sir, in this tic-tac-toe example, the information of the state is being recorded. I mean, like the inputs, we are marking all the inputs, sir. But let us assume a small game in which our opponent shot a bullet and we lost some health. Then how will there be the information stored that we lost the health if we were hit by a bullet?
So Dharma Teja, for that system need to have its own history. We are not bothered about that. We are not going to read things for that. That is game designing. That is separate issue.
No, sir. No. I just want to confirm you before you said that the state is meant by that instance, no, sir.
Yes.
So I just ask at that every instance may not have its own history collected, no, sir. So are we assuming that the history is collected in the instance itself here?
पहली बात कि history is not required. I was telling that for these things history is not required. That is actually the answer. And the other thing is that if it is required, make or design or redesign your game in such a way so that history got recorded so that your agent can learn properly. अब बात समझे?
Okay, sir. Okay.
But
Thank you, sir.
here, when we design it in the form of Markov decision process, it is saying that we are not worried about. We are not worried about what you have done so far. मतलब नहीं मुझे, what you have done so far. Whatever you are going to do in your life or maybe after this state is solely dependent upon this state. This is the Markovian property. If your system, if your game, if your problem do not follow this, RL is going to pose challenges, and because of that you may not be able to solve your problem. Understood? This is a constraint that we are posing. Markovian decision process.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so now coming to, so this is not required, only ST is fine. But why 80 minus 1? Because it is saying that even we do not require the previous action what you have done so far. Just think it, the example that I have given to Deepali. दीपाली आई, उसने कहा कि मैंने आईआईटी मंडी सेलेक्ट कर लिया. जिससे पूछ के किया, क्या किया, इससे पहले उसने क्या किया था पता नहीं. उसने बीटेक किया, एमटेक किया, 12th किया, 10th किया, कुछ भी पढ़ाई की, कहीं भी रही, कुछ भी किया. Now she has taken the step that she joined IIT Mandi. That is ST. At this ST, इसके आगे वो क्या करती है, RL इस पे बात करेगा. अभी तक क्या किया, 0, भूल जाइए. हो सकता है दीपाली आई, दीपाली ने AIEEE या IIT JEE टॉप किया था. आपने टॉप किया IIT JEE, आप आ गए, आप यहाँ पे स्टूडेंट बन गए, आपके फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर में आप फेल हो गए. कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है इससे कि आपने टॉप किया था. Point is this, that is that RL is only going to see upcoming rewards. अभी तक क्या करके आए थे, 0. Yes, दीपाली ने लिखा है, बहुत दूर से मुझे ज्यादा दिखता नहीं. The future is independent of the past. Yes, and that is also true. It's also true. Several times not, when the system is a time dependent system, time series predictions and so on. But independence of the past, which means, and that is the word out or the line that you have written, that is Markov decision property, and that has to be held. Now, if that is the case, even 80 minus 1 is also not required. You only require state. Now, आगे बढ़ते हैं. So we need to learn a function which will take st minus 1. I'm sorry, not st minus 1. It's going to take what is the state at which you are and what is the action that you are going to take. Clear? Raise your hand. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट बता दिया मैंने पहली क्लास में. मैं ये बताता हूं 5वीं 4-5 क्लास के बाद. किसने बोला हैंड? किसी ने भी नहीं हैंड रेज किया. कोमल ने किया, उत्कर्ष ने किया, प्रियांशु ने किया. जल्दी मुझे भी बताया तो करो. मैं सामने मेरे कोई है नहीं, बेचारा दक्ष बैठा है. मुझे पता तो चलता रहा कि लोग हैं, सुन रहे हैं मेरी बातें. 4-5-6 लोग ने बोल दिया. ओके. बाय द वे, व्हाट इज दिस? ये क्या है? इसका नाम है, इसको कहते हैं पॉलिसी. और इसको दिखाते कैसे? पाई st. Now there is another thing that इस स्टेट पे जब मैं कोई एक्शन लेता हूं, so I need to be, so policy is saying that if you are at this state, what is the action that I need to take? So pi st is something related to, so it is going to tell you that what is the action that you need to take. क्या एक्शन लिया जाए. ठीक है. You are at a state, there are actions. A1 गलत तरह से लिख दिया. ठीक है, चलता भाई. चलो चलो ठीक. This is A1, A2, A3, A4, ST1, ST2, ST3. Now, can you tell me which one I need to take?
We don't know about that.
It can be A1, it can be A2, it can be A3, it can be A4. And whatever I take, if I take A1, I will be ST1 state or ST2 state, ST3 state, ST4 state. It has to be the optimal one. I am saying that suppose that this is the optimal. Then Deepali will say that, sir, how you have said that this is optimal? Why this is optimal? So let me define two more things. First, you all understand what's the policy. Deepali, you have question. हाँ पूछिए.
No, sir. गलती से.
Okay. So you are at a state. There are so many different types of actions which are possible. What action I need to take depends upon which one is the optimal one. What should I do? How can I know that which one is the optimal? So at a state st, if, okay, so this is undo. Okay, there is a function. Value function. So this is the value function. Suppose that value function st. What is the meaning of this? The meaning of this function is, if you are at a state st, Its value function is going to tell you that what is the value of this state. And what does that mean? It means that how much, what is the maximum, if you do well, best, what is the maximum reward you can extract. It is just like that Deepali is at IIT Mandi. What is the value of Deepali being IIT Mandi, being at IIT Mandi? And the value is 28 lakhs, maybe her salary. What is the maximum that she can achieve? Before that, understand these are the terms we need to define first, and then we need to define how can we get that. But we need to first define them properly. ST, value function. What is the maximum that you can extract? What is the maximum juice? What is the maximum reward? What's the maximum value that you can extract from this state ST? Clear to everyone? Yes, no? Raise your hand. हाथ उठाइए. Okay, simple. Now it comes the other thing which is called as Q value. Q value says ST state. If I take an action AT at this state, if I take an action AT, maximum reward I can extract. क्या मतलब हुआ दोनों में फर्क? तो the difference is ST is the property of an state. If you are at this state, how much that you can go, you are going to achieve. If at a state I take an action, how much I can achieve? Can you figure out the difference between both of them? Can you figure out the difference between both of them? Can you listen? All of you can listen, right?
Sir, yeah, value function will be some vector or Q value will be some scalar.
नहीं, दोनों स्केलर है.
No, sir, value function will give all the possible.
नहीं, all possibility नहीं, ये बताएगा this is 22. Single value. Yes, no?
Yes.
Sir, is value function is at that given state, what's the maximum I can achieve, and Q value is in that state, if I take this action, what's the maximum I can achieve?
Yes. Yes, that's true. This is okay. Okay.
Sir,
पूछो.
Sir, so the value function is a static process and Q value is an dynamic.
No. Both of these are two different functions, and we need to learn. And both of them are, some static function not known to us, because there is some phenomena which is happening inside the environment we don't know. ऐसा नहीं समझ, ऐसा चेस खेला तुमने, इस अगर you have done the wrong opening and wrong set of initial 5 moves, then at max you can do this. अरे लाइफ में देख लो, if you are at IIT Mandi, this is the maximum salary that you can get. If you are at a triple IT, maybe this type of salary. Maybe if you are doing your PhD, maybe from a poor college, you are not going to get a good job. So that is the maximum thing that you can achieve from that state. And if you are at a state and have taken an action, it is going to tell you what? Value function is talking about the state. Q function is talking about
Action.
quality of an action. Understood? What is
Okay,
the
sir.
quality of this action given a particular state?
Okay, sir.
At this state. So it's just like that you wanted to do deep learning. That's your action. Good. If you are at IIT Mandi, so ST is IIT Mandi, AT is deep learning. Q value will be something else. At IIT Mandi, deep learning, Q value will be something else. But if you are in some industry and doing deep learning, it is different. If you are a deep mind and doing deep learning, it's even different. Right? So Q value is going to talk about how good an action, how bad an action. Value is function is going to tell how good overall this state is. Now you are at this state, maybe some ST, then let me take you to ST minus 1. Sorry, गलत लिख दिया. Then this is ST1, ST2, ST3, ST4. This is A1, this is A2, this is A3, this is A4. This is Q1, which is equal to the Q value of S. Let me write it properly. So before that, if I say that if you are at this location, so suppose that if you are at this location, what is the maximum that you can get? V S T minus 1. Everyone agreed?
Yes, sir.
This is V S T2. V S T3. Everyone agreed? Yes, no? At ST2, whatever the best, if you do, what is the maximum you are going to get? This much. Now, can anyone tell me Q ST A1 is equal to
Sir, it will be greater than equal to VST1.
will be greater than or equal to
VST1.
ST1. If it is 2, 3, 4. Yes or no?
So it will be just equal to, or it can be greater than also.
Can be greater than. It's going to be equal to.
Yes, sir. Only equal to, no, right?
Yeah, that's the definition. It's going to be equal to. Now the point is, what is the value of ST? ST की वैल्यू क्या है?
Maximum of Q of ST to cross AI.
So मान लिया ये है maxima. So this is going to be the reward that you will be getting when you take A3 action at ST.
Yes, sir.
Plus VST3. You see the recursive definition. Do you see this recursive definition of both of them? Not only this. Now, if I give you instead of them, if I give you that the Q values of these guys, you can compute the Q value of this guy. But right now, if I give you the V values of them, you can get the V value or the value of this ST. ये आ रहा है समझ में? Please raise your hand. दो बच्चों ने.
सर ये आर ये क्यू है ना सर?
R क्या है? R is the reward function. ठीक है? So reward function is again also a function which will take a state, it will take an action, it's going to just tell you that what is your reward. We need to design all of them. ये आई बात समझ में पहले तो? Yes, no?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
I have a question, sir.
Please ask.
So, I mean, like we introduced the reward function. Like, I mean, is this the only way, like, or we do it like that only?
I did have introduced till now the reward function. It has to be formally introduced. But reward function is like that. If you do this action at this state, this many value, this is the reward that you are going to get from your environment. It's a fixed function.
Okay.
Sir,
पूछो पूछो.
sir, that then R of STA3 is not equal to Q of STA3 because it's a maximum Q.
What this thing?
Is not equal to Q of STA3.
नहीं मैंने बोला ये maximum है मान लो.
Okay.
I've said this is the maximum, assume. Otherwise, I have to write the max of all these things. Understood?
Okay, sir.
What is the max of this? A1 plus this thing, A2 plus this thing, A3 plus, sorry, not A1. Reward RST A1 plus this thing, RST A2 plus this thing, RST A3 plus this thing, RST A4 plus this thing. Whatever is the maximum that is going to be there, right? But I just have said that assume that this is your maximum. So it's a recursive definition. The value function can be seen as a recursion. Q value function can actually be seen as a recursion. So what are the things that we have seen? We have seen. So now I'm summarizing. I'm about to close the lecture. In next 5 minutes, we will be done. I request all of you to please, RL series I have shared. I have shared that today in the morning. I have shared one mail in which RL series were there. That's actually a YouTube lecture series. Please start watching things from there, because there I have covered things in a much more detail. Maybe when I tomorrow or next lecture Thursday, when we are going to start, it may not be that much descriptive. So you can please carry on from there itself. What I'm saying was that today we have seen certain things. What are those? I'm going to just write it down over here. First, agent. So what is the meaning of an agent? Please see. Environment. There are many different types of environments which are possible. There is MDP, Markov decision process. Please see about this. We will cover, but at least if you have some idea, you will be able to understand it. We have talked about action. We have talked about a state. We have talked about reward. Then we have talked about policy. We have talked about Q value and value function. How many of you are aware of dynamic programming? Please raise your hands. Dynamic programming, DP. All of you. You must be aware of this DP. And the point is that if I have a recursion, or you can say recurrence, कुछ तो लिख दिया, recurrence. So recurrence are being solved using dynamic programming. And why I have said that? Because Q value and value function, both of them are recursive functions. And now you can think about that when I have a Q value and when I have a value function, and what's the policy, what is Q value, what is value function, then when I say there is a guru for you, who is that guru? Vivekananda was a person? No. For us. So if I say that who was the guru of Vivekananda? Ramakrishna Paramhans. Ramakrishna Paramhans. So whenever Vivekananda is having any doubt, he will say, hey, I am at this state. Ramakrishna Paramhans, can you tell me what to do? He will say A2. A2. Then then Vivekananda will say, hey, now I am at this state. Can you tell me? He'll say A5. A5. What is this? Out of all this, what is this? इन सब में वो क्या है? रामकृष्ण परमहंस कौन है?
Environment.
Environment is not our Ramakrishna Paramhans. Environment से बोलोगे जाके, hey, I am at this state. Environment will say, okay, you are at this state, and what is the action you wanted to take? He will say that at this state I am taking this action. Okay, this
Policy.
is your next state.
Policy.
हाँ.
Policy.
सुनाई नहीं दिया, फिर से बोलिए.
Policy. Policy.
Policy. Policy है रामकृष्ण परमहंस. Everyone agreed. Agreed. But this Ramakrishna Paramahans or this policy is going to utilize Q function. How? So Ramakrishna Paramahans भी कैसे बताते हैं कि क्या action लो? So you are at a state, at this state, when you say, hey, policy, please tell me. Policy, please tell me what the action I need to take. Policy is nothing but a greedy policy. What is that greedy policy? Can anyone figure out what is the greedy policy? Greedy policy क्या है?
So Q value and value function.
हाँ, Q value कैसे यूज करोगे?
सर जो मतलब सबसे ज्यादा Q value देगा.
खत्म. आपने देखा, आपने क्या बोला? आपको पता है कि आपके पास डिस्क्रीट एक्शंस हैं. कितने एक्शन है? 5 एक्शन है. You are at a state. You wanted to know in which what is the action I need to take. You just ask that Q value. Hey, Q value, 5 actions. My state is S5. S5 A1, S5 A2, S5 A3, S5 A4, S5 A5. 5 Q values. Whatever is the maximum, move in that direction. That is the policy. Policy is just the greedy policy. Any question? पूछो जल्दी जल्दी पूछो.
Sir, जो Q value है, it's dependent on future in that respect, right? Like वो दिखता है कि action उस direction में गया तो क्या हमें reward मिलेगा, right? And yeah, okay.
True. So Ramakrishna Paramhans, how he is going to answering is he is internally using a Q value function. So whenever Vivekananda or somebody say, hey, tell me At this state, what I need to do? He will say wait. Then he go internal. Hey, he is a S5. What is S5A1, S5A2, S5A3, S5A4, S5A max? Come back. Whatever the value, that is your policy. So policy is greedy policy. Q value, so it is just saying the maximizing over all AIs. What? Q value. So in this way, RL actually works. 80% RL and its phenomena, how it works, we have covered. Maybe 20% is that internal details of all of them. Maybe we will talk in our next class. We are done for today's lecture. If you have any question, you can ask. We are done.
Sir, I just wanted to ask about the slot on OAS, because we also need to register for the course.
Slot free, huh?
So yeah, so the OAS also has to make it, so then we can add it in our basket. I think add drop is till 3rd March.
ठीक है, आप उसकी मेल कर दीजिए मुझे, मैं OAS को कह दूंगा कि वो करे. नहीं, आप मेरे को CC करते हुए OAS को मेल कर दीजिए.
Okay, sir.
We have talked to the instructor and I request you to please get me registered into that manually.
Okay, so okay. Okay.
ठीक है,
Sir,
okay. हाँ.
Sir, in this example,
Sir,
what is
sir.
value function?
फिर से बोलो.
In this example, what is value function?
Yeah, in this example, which example?
The Ramakrishna Paramahansa example.
Ramakrishna Paramahansa, the value function is, just a phenomena, it's just a concept. We are using, so actually it is value function of a state, but we require Q value function, which is internally dependent upon the value function. And this value function internally, so policy is internally dependent upon this value function. So we are assuming that there is some phenomena which is somehow being understood by some persons who really understand that every state has some amount of reward associated. We never actually compute this, and there is a reason why. We will talk it later. But our first algorithm is going to be deep Q learning algorithm. So you can see that even in the case of this Ramakrishna Paramahansa example, we do not require this value function to realize this whole example completely. But but we can define value function, we can define Q value function, and Q value function can use Q value function and vice versa.
Okay, sir.
So that we will show tomorrow, maybe in the next lecture.
Okay, sir.
Our first algorithm will be Q learning, deep Q learning. Yes, done. Anyone else?
So when
Sir.
will be our next lecture? Will it be Tuesday or Thursday?
Will it be
Tuesday or Thursday, sir?
Tuesday?
next
नहीं होगा ना,
lecture.
Tuesday lecture है, Thursday होगा.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Sir, should we have to have any idea about the future states while computing the Q values, sir? Because our model might not be able to simulate the states, no, sir, right? It might not have the future knowledge.
So the point is that you keep on playing the game. Okay.
Yes.
You need to play a game.
Okay.
मैं एक काम करूंगा ना, नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में बताऊंगा, अदरवाइज आधा अधूरा आंसर होगा. So the point is that for this you need to generate the data. Even you do not have the data. So how to generate the data and how to utilize that data to play a game and so on, we will talk about maybe in next lecture. But once you play this whole thing, you have all the things. What has happened when you have applied a policy? जस्ट वो दीप्ति वाला एग्जांपल अगर आप ध्यान करें, दीप्ति ने दीपाली से पूछा और उसके बाद दीपाली से कहा, सारी बात मानती गई, और जब उसका एक सेमेस्टर खत्म हुआ तब उसने इवैल्यूएट किया. तो व्हेन यू आर इवैल्यूएटिंग, यू हैव द होल ट्रैजेक्टरी अलोंग विद यू.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
ठीक है, डन. थैंक यू. यस. Utkarsh,
Sir, actually, my lab is there on Thursday, but it is from 3:30. So can you change the slot from 2 to 3:30?
ये मेल कर दो मुझे 3:30 वाला क्या है?
सर ये
दक्ष
मेरा
को सीसी करते हुए कब कि थर्सडे को कह रहे हो?
कोर्स है सर मेरा।
नहीं वो मैं समझ गया, आप थर्सडे के लिए कह रहे हो?
हाँ थर्सडे के लिए।
थर्सडे ठीक है, 3:30 से कर सकते हैं।
Means
और
2 to
लैब
3:30.
तुम्हारी इतनी देर चलती तो होगी नहीं, 3:15 से क्यों नहीं आ जाते हो? किस चीज की लैब है?
Sir, DS302, computing processing for data science.
वो नहीं छोड़ेंगे तुम्हें।
श्री राम
ठीक
सर
है,
सर।
3:30 ओके, 3:30 we will mail that, ओके।
3:30 से चालू होगी सर, तो 2 o'clock से बोल रहा हूँ।
अच्छा 3:30 से चालू होगी?
हाँ
अच्छा तो हम लोग 2 बजे से 3:30 बजे तक नहीं कर सकते?
पूछ
2
लो
to
सर सब।
3:30
हाँ sir, it's 2 to 3:30 is fine, I think.
2 to 3:30 ठीक है, 2 to 3:30 ठीक है।
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर।
ओके, तो दक्ष विल मेल, ओके थैंक यू।